screen there what he's done over his career, the amazing resilience, and the fact that you drafted him way back in Brisbane.
Yeah, some time ago now, 15 years ago, my God, that means you've been around a long time. To see the start of his career and the end of his career in his last game, but look what hasn't been said about Sam this week. He's been incredible. The value he's been to the Carlton Football Club. It's been well spoken about what he's had to overcome. I don't think there's a guy that's had to overcome more in football, to be honest. So his response through those times has been quite incredible, and as a result, he's probably inspired a few along the way as well.
We were just talking about the emotion involved. It feels like we've all ridden the trials and tribulations with him. There's tremendous empathy and support and love for the man, whether you barrack for Carlton or not. We're talking about the amount of emotion involved. How do you channel that to make sure it comes out in positive energy and players don't go over the top with emotion?
Yeah, well, I think it's an opportunity for us to be able to create a pretty special memory tonight. He's been able to give us so many of them over his career and stood up in really big moments. He's been there when it's been tough for the football club. He's led through absolute adversity personally and also as a club. And, tonight is another game, but it's also an opportunity to be able to create a memory. And then so as we talked a little bit about that pre-game was, acknowledging him. He just wants to play the game, but, the way we go about it's going to be pretty important.
Are Carlton at their best when Charlie Curnow has the ball 60, 70 from goal, kicking it inside 50, or the other way around, kicking it to Charlie? Which do you prefer?
Depends on whether he has a shot from 70 or whether he actually or whether he puts it where he needs to. No, look, that's hard to answer. What I do know is we're a better team when Charlie's kicking to Harry and Harry's kicking to Charlie. So hopefully we get a little bit of that tonight. So being able to have balance in our game. Obviously you've seen we've picked a little bit taller. So to have that aerial threat forward of the ball will be important, as will be the pressure when the ball hits the floor. So we have to get a balance of both tonight.
And you must be pleased, Vossy, you've given some opportunity to some youngsters, particularly Matt Carroll at one end and Ashton Moyer last week have really shown that they're part of the future. They can seriously play.
Yeah, it's pleasing to see. I mean, they've sort of had different moments in the last few weeks, and so you just want to continue to see that growth throughout the last, month that they've been playing, and that constant reinforcement and giving confidence to the younger players to be able to go out there and transfer their form from VFL to AFL is not a simple thing to do, because they've got to believe in themselves, they've got to have confidence in what they can do, and when they get games like that, you have to put it on a pedestal for them. You have to show them what it looks like, because it's a real identity piece for them and something that they can sort of, model themselves on in the future.
Just going back to Charlie Curnow for a moment, we know the talk that there has been during the week, and it really doesn't matter whether there's a shred of truth to it or not. This industry thrives on speculation, on storytelling, and on conspiracy theories. But how does Charlie handle that psychologically as he prepares for a game like this? How does he deal with all the attention?
I think the art of any performer is that despite what talk here is surrounding a game, what the lead up to the week has been, whether we're playing a player who's playing his final game, whether you've got a player who's playing his 200th game milestone, all the talk gets put aside, and then it's about what you do next. And when you walk inside that line, it's the game, and the game has to do the talking. And so what we expect as performers is we go out there as competitors, and we've got to get the job done, and we narrow our focus and task, and he's got a role to do, a very important one, and we ask him to execute it.
Carlton fans are going to be watching tonight. What's the priority that you want to get right against the Hawks? How do you challenge them best?
It'd be nice to get some pressure on the ball. If they're able to go from one end to the other too many times, we're in for a long night. But look, I think what they're underestimate with the Hawks is they're pretty sound in the contest. They do bring some numbers around it, and we obviously know how fast they are away from contests as well. So, we'd love plenty of looks forward to the ball. We'd love our 50, 55 entries to give ourselves that chance and back ourselves in that we can get enough midfield turnovers to create some threats to them.
You're quite tall. Does that mean different role for someone? Maybe Moyer up the ground more? Does it look like?
Yeah, possibly. We talked about that. Maybe Charlie plays a little bit higher for different periods of the game as well. So we'll see what that looks like. He said he wants to go on a bit of a run, so we'll see what that looks like throughout the game, and when that plays out, we'll wait and see on that. But you'll try a few different things with the rotations. We do have one off the ground pretty much most of the time, so you don't really have the three out there or four out there too often.
Ball movement's been an ongoing theme for you throughout the course of the season. Does having the right structure, i.e. having Charlie and Harry back in, give you more options and more opportunities with that ball movement?
Oh, there's no doubt that's what the tall players do for you. They give you the reference points around the ground.
Yep.
And so when you've got that structure, he's had a few partners, Charlie, this year. You know, we've had Hudson O'Keefe, we've had Lewis Young, we've had Harry's been playing there. Brodie Kemp was there for small periods of time. That combination hasn't been there a hell of a lot this year, and it's been dearly missed. We welcome the big fella back. Obviously, it's only his first game back, but yeah, they do help you with your reference points around the ground. And not only that, I think it also helps your smalls because they do have a reference point to work off, and they can sort of get back to that as a bit of a meeting point, and then hopefully, obviously, get the pressure we need on the floor when we can draw it there.
Sam Doherty had a bit of a laugh during the week when he said he chose this game as Jacob Wiedering's 200th to steal his thunder. I take it that they're very good mates, but what has Jacob meant to this football club as really a pillar down back and that real constant presence?
Yeah, I think if anyone asks about his particular journey, everyone says he's the guy that's probably grown the most. And by that, I think the way I read it is that he's been quite a serious person with his football, and finds hard to bring joy to all the moments, and he's sort of learned to relax his shoulders a little bit. He's evolved as a leader. Up and going, nothing passes him. He's just been absolutely incredible. It's a pleasure to coach him. He's so desperate for success for this football club, and he leads so strongly for us. And I've been pleased that we've been able to get some emerging defenders down there to help him out. He's got a great partner down there with Haynes this year, and we've got to continue to build out that back 6-7 for him.
Well, hopefully for his sake and yours, he can find some joy tonight here at the MCG. Michael Voss, thanks for joining us.
Thanks as always. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Mate.
All right, we're going to head down to John Ralph at ground level, who can tell us a bit more about